About time England won a World Cup, innit?
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favourite podcast platform or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow and join in now.
You're watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
And it's live.
It is, and a very good evening from myself, Chris, and from Mini Chris, just there. How the devil are we all? Well, as Yvonne, what was she called? Yvonne, somebody once said, it should have been me, and it maybe should have been us playing Morocco tonight, but we are 27 minutes off finding out whether we are going to see, well, we've already seen history made in a way because Morocco have got to a semi-final of the World Cup, the first African nation to do so. Can they go all the way? The bigger question, of course, for Morocco, and it's one that's been asked many, 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 many times, do they know it's Christmas?
Christmas!
You know, there's nothing like starting with one of these, is there? It just sets the tone for the whole evening. Did you see what I did there? Oh God, I should be paid for this, you know. I really should. Anyway, good evening. Welcome along to Leicester Till I Die TV. We will be being joined by Mais just before 7 o'clock to take us through the watch-along of the second World Cup final of 2022. It has gone shockingly quick. Nate is in. Good evening, Nate. How are you? Hope you're well, sir. Richard is in. Richard, oh God, that brought back that horrible memory of my weekend in London when I accidentally looked out the wrong window on the underground train, or the overground train it was, and saw the London Stadium. God, my whole weekend was ruined. Good evening, Richard. How are you? That would teach me not to do my homework and see that the ABBA Stadium was right opposite the London Stadium. David's in. Good evening, Dave. how are you? I hope you are well. Shane is in. Good evening, Shane. I hope you are well as well. Facebook user, London was absolutely fab. It really was. I mean, before I went, I was hoping that I had a dream before I went to see ABBA that England might win the World Cup. But I felt it slipping through my fingers while we were watching it. And I guess at the end of the day, the winner takes it all. So what can we say? I'm not sure who you are, Facebook user, but thank you very much anyway. I had an absolutely fan-dabby-dozy time. Seriously, did Richard. Taxpayer Stadium. Well, there's a lot of graffiti around there. That's all I'll say. Anyway, apart from that, London was really, really good. Yes. I'm quite impressed because we're actually on. Well, it was overground more than underground. I felt like a womble. I couldn't find one, but I felt like one because I was going underground and overground. Number 2, and I must admit though. I must admit that if I had bumped into a womble, I would have given him some money for Christmas. So, well, I know they struggle, and I would have wanted them to go out because they can't collect much rubbish. Really, seriously, you think they do? They cannot collect much rubbish. Well, they only have one bowl.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
3 already. How much better does it get than this, I hear you say? It can't get any worse, can it, really? Somebody's just said, who has it? Jake is in. Oh, little Jake, how are we doing? Stadium jealousy isn't healthy. Well, I tell you what, I did actually pass the Millwall Stadium, so you're quite right. I was a bit jealous of that. I impressed my daughter because there we were going on the train, and this really big stadium was sort of opposite us out the window. And she said, "Oh, whose stadium's that?" And I looked at it, and it was blue, and it didn't look good enough to be a Premier League stadium. Well, I suppose unless you're comparing it to obviously the London Stadium, but it looked too good to be Leyton Orient to somebody like that. So I actually said Millwall. I was spot on. And you think if that wasn't bad enough, like I say, I then had to get out at the same station as you get out for the London Stadium and West Ham United. For some reason, it's called Pudding Lane. I'll leave you to look into that one. Mel is in. Good evening, Mel. How the devil are you? I hope you've got over. Well, your main team went out very early, Canada, and your adopted team were unlucky to go out against France. We're talking about that more later. Andrew says, "Are we all Morocco tonight?" See, I'm a little bit torn. I want Morocco to do it. I really do. But wouldn't it be nice if France won it again and we could say that the French knocked us out? That we went out to the Pudding Mill Lane. What did I say, Jake? Did I not say Pudding Mill Lane? It's that part of London. They all look like puddings anyway. So, it would be good to say we went out to the world champions if they won it again. I mean, obviously we can say that now because they were world champions when they knocked us out. But if they went on and win it, I just think it gives us a bit of kudos. And I know I'm grabbing at straws here, but that's years of being a Leicester fan, you see. And I was kind of like, well, do I want Morocco? Yeah, I said I have teams that I hate, right? For no other reason than they are what they are. So Scotland's the number one. I cannot stand Scotland. I really can't, for obvious reasons. Germany, nothing to do with the war. I didn't mention it. Didn't have to get away with it. 66 and all that. Argentina, purely for the hand of God. And can I just say, everybody that says like Messi is this absolutely amazing footballer, no. He's a drug-sniffing cheat. That's what Maradona is. So let's just put that one to bed, shall we? So I hate Argentina and the French. Now, the reason I hate the French is the French. I guess I've got that. Do we need another reason? I always say let's join the Channel Tunnel up to the N25 so that they come through, they go all the way around and straight back down again. Yes, but if it's a France-Argentina final, again, I'll be torn because I would not want France to win it so that we can say we got knocked out by the eventual winners. But I'd really like to see Messi win it. But like I say, I cannot stand Argentina. But I like Messi. Now, we know Messi does make a mess of his accounts. And he's been a little bit naughty with his accounting. But I still prefer him to Ronaldo. Ronaldo, I just want to punch him. He's such an arrogant little twat. And he's gone home crying. He just walked straight down the tunnel, giving a shit about his teammates. We know that he likes attacking, child fans with mobile phones. The guy is just an absolute disgrace. If he doesn't get his way, he goes running to the nearest TV station and spills his heart out. And he's just pathetic. And I would love the fact that he got knocked out when they did, or Portugal got knocked out when they did. And that happened to be the year when Messi went on and won the World Cup. Ronaldo has achieved a lot. He's a good footballer and he's achieved a lot, but he's had to move around. Why do none of these clubs want to keep him, I wonder? And yet Messi, most of his life at one club. Anyway. Exactly, David, exactly. That is it in a nutshell. James is in. Good evening, James. Yeah, I do. And we're going to go through score predictions in a minute. I want Morocco to win. But I can't. I think this might be one step too far for them. David says, my daughter-in-law had to be just got pregnant 2 days ago, and I found out last night number 6 is on its way. Bloody hell, she's been a busy woman. Have for Christmas, have you ever thought about getting her maybe a Netflix account or an Amazon Prime account? You give us but 6 kids. Bloody hell, I had 4. I joke. I'm guessing it's not all from your daughter. Congratulations, sir. I hope he or she will be brought into the world being a Leicester City fan. And then it will all be great and easy running on for that. As James says here, hit the likes and subscribe. Please do. We're trying to get to the 1.6 before the end of the year. I don't think we're going to do it, but I think we're about 20 off, at the moment. We're 1.58. So we are very, very close, but we've got Christmas and what have you coming up. It costs nothing to subscribe. Can you also, though, as well as if you aren't new and you have subscribed, please smash the likes button because that really does help the channel so much. So I think we can have a laugh at West Ham. I think the West Ham fans are gone. They can't afford to stay really coming from London, can they? Tell you what, did anybody get the snow at the weekend? Because I was on the bus coming home, and when I got in, my daughter messaged me just before I got back to Paul, and she said, have you seen the snow? And I said, where? She said, well, it's really just come down like mad in London. And I'm like, well, no, when I left, it was, it wasn't snowing. And when I got off the bus at Poole, it had snowed in Poole and had moved. I had missed it both ends. So there was no snowman for me. Walking in the air. There wasn't any of that at all. God, I shouldn't do that. It hurts. Right. So only another week until Leicester is back. Yes, indeed. Just a small matter of Newcastle and Liverpool, our first 2 games. But hey-ho. No, we've got Milton Keynes first. I will be hopefully doing a watch-along for Milton Keynes. I can't always get a stream, though, for the Carabao Cup. what the TV companies think of it. Look, I've gone 3-1 to France because I went 3-1 for Argentina and I nearly got it right. Glad to see Croatia have gone out. They played well in that game, but I wasn't impressed with them up to that game. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Evening, Chris. Glad to hear you never gained a Cockney accent. I didn't. I can't do accents, so I won't attempt to do one either. But no, God, can you imagine a Cockney accent? Oh my God, almost as bad as the Canadian one. Hello, Mel. I'm going to write to FIFA to extend the World Cup so I don't have to suffer watching Everton again, says James. Well, you never know. You never know. I mean, slip a check in with the letter. You never know what you might get. But no, I've gone 3-1. So stick your predictions in the chat. Nobody got the 3-0 correct. In fact, there was only 2 people I think that went for Croatia to do it. I went 3-0. I went 3-0 to Argentina, and I was actually the closest.
I don't know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
It is indeed very difficult to not to look smug. But I just think, unfortunately, this is one step too far for Morocco. But yeah, it would be great. It would be great. Let's have a look what people are saying here. Nate has gone 1-0 to Morocco. Okay, let's get that down there, Nate. As much as I want Morocco to win, I think France will win 2-0, says James. I think you're right there, Jam, and that's my thought. That said, we were much the better team the other day, much the better team. FIFA used to open in the brown envelopes, allegedly. Just remember, I can't afford solicitors. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the clubs. Well, not the clubs, the teams, and how they got here. But before we do that, don't forget this. This is next Wednesday, the 9 o'clock. It is the big fat Christmas quiz. And I would like to thank Dan for modelling that for me and taking a selfie. Well, I think he got his wife to take the picture, actually. I did have to sort of strategically put the artworks just to cover up his corner releasing Wii machine. Shall we put it that way? So that is next Wednesday. Look, I'll tell you what it's going to be. No football. If you want to watch a football quiz, no, we are going completely off topic. We're going to have silly Christmas hat songs, silly Christmas shirts and jumpers. We're going to have some beers and wine and whatever people want to drink. And we're going to be asking questions that have got absolutely nothing at all to do with football, because that's the way we roll. And to be quite honest with you, it's Christmas. It's like our Christmas. It's like the Leicester Till I Die Christmas party. There we go. That's what it is. You're welcome to join. We've got TV and film round. We've got a date it round. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm going to ask, anybody out for a date. Basically, it's when did these certain things happen? Who said that? There's been one of those. Where in the world? And then we'll have a round on Christmas crackers. Now, that's the special round, and you're going to have to wait to see what that one is all about. Next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Be there or be square, as they always say. See, down with the kids, me. But let's have a look. There you can see it. That's the journey to the semis that the two teams have had. Argentina got off to an awful start, and then they got into the semis, and they very, very easily dealt with Croatia. Look, my special guest is in, so we'll come back to that in 1 second. How can I describe her? Well, she's a Man United fan, but we don't hold that against her. She is one of the nice ones. I know that's hard. Now, this might surprise you. She's a Manchester United fan who actually lives in Manchester. I know. You didn't think there would be one, did you? Let me give you a final clue. This is bound to give it away. Good evening, Maisie. Oh, she's still going. I think it stops in a minute. And that was the shortened version. How are you? Well, nice to see you.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am very well. I survived London. I survived going past the Millwall Stadium and seeing the West Ham Stadium. I'm still here. Well, it should have been us tonight, shouldn't it?
It should have been, but I look at it in terms of England, even though we did have them penalties, we just wasn't good enough up front, and we allowed France too much time on the ball from time to time. There was great when they was attacking, but I think the second goal, poor defending, but bad marking on the first goal. But I think even if we did get to the semis, you never know how Morocco would have turned up. They've knocked out some massive teams, Spain being one of them. So be interesting, really. But it is a bit gutting we're not there, but maybe next time round. Because don't forget, all our players are in our will be in their prime in the next World Cup.
Yes, and we won't have Kane probably either, possibly. But I mean, he took some stick, and I think it was wrong in the same way that I think that the Arsenal players took some stick from the Euros. I could see what he was trying to do. He was up against his club goal, his club teammate who knew where he was going to go. So he tried to go high for once. Unfortunately, just went a bit too high.
Yeah, you can't. I think for me, maybe the second penalty, we could have tried a different player, perhaps, just to put Lloris in that bit more suspense. I know Sterling was on at that point. He could have been a potential option. Mason Mount could have been a potential option as well. We've got plenty of players who was playing on that day, so there could have been options. And I think there was poor man management as well by the manager. I'm not going to hold that to responsibility. What I mean by it is the substitutes, the timings of the substitutes. I don't necessarily mean the way he's set up and the team he's come out with, but I mean as in the game management when the game kicked off is what I disagreed with.
No, I agree with you totally. I mean, quarterfinals, it's as good as we've ever got, apart from one time since we won it in the World Cup, and that was under Bobby Robson. I was impressed with the way that he'd kind of changed things around. But, his timing of his substitutes and the substitutes he brought on, whether it was going to be... and I'm not going to sit here and go, bleat and go, it should have been Maddison and Maddison. No, I don't care if it was Maddison or Grealish. Either of those should have come on, but earlier. Bringing Grealish on with 2 minutes to go was absolutely stupid.
And Rashford for the last 10 minutes, and he's top goal scorer for England as well.
Exactly. But, who's to say that if somebody else had taken that second penalty, what would have happened if Kane had stood back and said, no, go on, then you take it, and that guy had missed it?
Well, exactly. It would have, the ball would have been in their court then, and then they would have had the abuse. What Kane has had, Rashford had for missing that free kick, Saka had. So they would have had the equal amount of bad treatment. But some players in the tournament throughout has had bad treatment off social media. I think Mason Mount being one of them, being slagged off, saying he's not good enough. He should never been in the squad. If he should or shouldn't have, that's obviously something to debate upon, but I just think
we all sit here, don't we? And you sit there, and I've heard you have a go at the, your Man United managers, like, why is he still picking him, and how's he getting in the team? I'm exactly the same with Leicester, and Spurs are with Spurs, and Palace are with Palace, and it goes on every single club. But when it's England, you've got everybody going at the one manager. But would we have got this far and had this success if Sam Allardyce has still been in charge?
Probably not. I don't think. I think
No.
Sam Allardyce is one of them kind of managers where he's so good at from losing places and getting from there. I don't think he's a manager what can take you to the very top. And I know a lot of people said, I want Graham Potter as England manager, I want Eddie Howe, I want Thomas Tuchel, I want such and such a manager. But who's to necessarily say them managers would have done anything different compared to Gareth Southgate either?
With English, our cup is always half empty, never half full. You know. But
we always see the bad before the good.
Yeah, exactly. And James, Jude Bellingham was amazing. They're just doing the national anthem, so before we actually start, just having a look at how these teams got here. I mean, I was watching ABBA, and I came out and I was waiting for my daughter's boyfriend to text saying what the result was, and I thought he was taking the piss, to be honest with you, when he said Morocco had gone through. But they deserve it. I mean, they have been, for me, the team of the tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. They've been definitely the underdogs. In my prediction stream, I actually predicted Morocco to finish last in their group. So,
just as you said that, I'm just having a look where I had them actually. In fairness, I had them third. I had Canada fourth, Morocco third. But yes, I don't think any of us would expected this.
No, never would have expected that. Look, they won against Belgium, the second best ranked team in the world. They took Spain to penalties. They beat Portugal. The only game where they haven't had a win was against Croatia, who also got to the semi-finals of the tournament.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And then you obviously got the French. And I'm sorry, I don't like the French. We all have those teams that we just don't like because of what they are.
So yours is the French.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
the French,
the Germans, the Argentinians. I've got Portuguese. I've got 5 of them. But I mean, I thought on the overall play, we were much the better team against France, and it was unlucky, but you know. It's life. I'd sooner be an England fan having just seen my team knocked out the World Cup than a Ukraine fan that sat there dodging bombs falling on his house. But Morocco haven't lost a game. France lost to Tunisia, but it was the last game of the group, so I don't really read too much into that. But of course, they're slowly get better. They started off with a 4-1, but no disrespect, it was Australia. But they have grown into this tournament, the French, haven't they?
Yeah, they have grown into the tournament. For me, I looked at Australia and thought, only Australia. I think I thought they was lucky to get a win against Denmark. I like Denmark as a country. I think the reason why I like them more is because of what happened in the Euros with Ericsson.
Yeah.
And that made me like them. I want them to do well. I wish them well. Tunisia, they've got one of our players in there, so I was kind of glad in a way. But of course, we've got Varane in France. But I think the reason why I don't like France more is because of Pogba. So I got them agendas. But I think when you look at the results that France has had, the Australian one you would say was predictable. I think for me though, people expected France to batter Poland. People expected a win against Denmark. A lot of people was backing France to win against England, and I think for me is that Mbappe's been the difference, because you look at the France how they were set up back in the last World Cup. They got them players. Their midfield is terrible now, in my opinion. The defense isn't that great. It can actually be worked around, but it's just all depending on the other team's defending and their man marking.
I am torn because I have got Mbappe as my to win the Golden Boot, but we kept him quiet. I mean, got to give credit to Kyle Walker. At times, I forgot he was even on the pitch. Mbappe.
Yeah, I think even though a lot of people wanted Kieran Trippier to play, I think that Kyle Walker was the best option. Not, I said we should have gone for it at the back, but it's not because I think necessarily that Kieran Trippier is a bad right back, because I think he's terrific. He's been on terrific form, but I look at the fact that City and PSG very recently played in the Champions League, and Man City knocked them out, and Kyle Walker done well against Mbappe in both them legs. So it's just all about experience, and Kyle Walker knows what to do to defend against Mbappe, and I can't think of when really Trippier has played against Mbappe.
No, like you say, we didn't get humiliated. We had a reasonably good tournament, but we are underway. Now, Morocco are in the red tops, green shorts and white socks, and they are kicking right to left, which is matching up with the graphic for the first half. That doesn't change at half time, remember, guys. France, blue, white shorts and red socks, therefore must be playing left to right, otherwise it would be a very one-sided game. I need your score prediction for this, Maisie. I've gone, whilst I want Morocco, I just have a feeling this might be one game too far, and I've been umming and ahhing between 2 and 3-1, and I'm going to go 2-1 to France. Which way are you going to go?
I think this game's going to go into extra time. And I went for a 0-0 in 90, and then France to win 1-0 in extra time.
Wow. Well, we could have penalties again. We've had that a few times. Thank God that Japan didn't meet Spain and it go to penalties. Otherwise, we'd still be playing it now, wouldn't we?
I do like Japan. I like the fans. The fans are nice.
Oh, don't get me wrong. They were very tidy, weren't they?
Tidy, yeah, you can say that.
Were just, people complain about England penalties and, England went out to a penalty again and all that. But those penalties from Japan and from Spain were just goddamn awful.
They were awful. And Luis Enrique, I think, is a top manager, but he has done the curse where everybody knows, bringing on a player for penalties. And that's exactly what he done with Sarabia. And I like Sarabia. I think he's a fantastic player. He didn't have a great career, but then Sporting built his career up on a season-long loan. He got into great form, and now he's getting into the PSG squad. I'm not saying he's starting every single game, but he's getting a lot of minutes. The new manager's working with him and wanting him to do well. So I think that to bring a player on just for penalties like that, I think it was a wrong decision off the manager, to be honest.
Yeah. I have put Maisie's details in the channel on the YouTube for you to find, to go and follow and support. But Maisie, please do tell everybody where they can find you.
Thank you. My YouTube channel is Devils United. As Chris has already mentioned, Manchester United. It's a channel there for men and the women's football. So you catch me on there, and my Twitter is Don't Be Like Chris at 2_MUSC Maze. I'm always going to say that.
You always say that. And I've got to be honest with you, as underscores go, your double underscores are the best in the business, Maisie.
Thank you.
They really are. Terry, to be honest with you, just very quickly, not going to sort of talk about Leicester too much, but there's so many rumours going around. It's funny that we are now going in for a player for 38 million when we we couldn't spend 38p in the summer. So, but the only two rules I have here is, while we're doing a watch along, is no spoilers. Once it's on the graphic, that is fine. But before then, do not give out any spoilers. And also, Terry, we don't promote other people's channels in other people's chats unless they're in, like Maisie is here. But on that one, Jeff is in all the way from the Philippines. Good evening, Jeff. Morning, good day, whatever it is over there. Morocco, the surprise package of this tournament, but France will be too strong, and he's going 3-0. Oh, goal already!
That's my prediction gone.
Oh. I haven't seen it. I haven't. Oh, that was bad defending.
It was very poor defending.
Oh,
Never go to ground when you're defending.
no, I mean within 5 minutes, this has just made it more difficult for Morocco. Maybe I should have gone for the 3, not the not the 2. I should have stuck with the 3.
You never know, though, Chris. It was actually a good strike though by Theo Hernandez. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at it now. I'm on 5 minutes and 9. I don't know what you're on there, Maisie.
I'm watching it live on the TV. I'm 5 minutes 41.
Right. Oh, I'm only half a minute behind you. I mean, could the goalkeeper have done better there?
I think he probably could have done better, to be fairly honest. But I think I'll blame that more on the defence than I would the goalkeeper.
Plus, that should have, I think, been cleared off the line. It was just kicking air.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the next 96 minutes, that Moroccan goalkeeper is really going to be living life on the edge.
You can say that again.
Bono, you too, the edge.
Oh.
Yes, I can see that joke didn't resonate with yourself. It's going to be a tough audience tonight, folks. We'll give the edge jokes a miss, I think.
The edge jokes?
The Edge is a guitar player in U2. Bono was the lead singer of U2, and the Moroccan goalkeeper's called Bono. So we had all these, that he's on the edge of his penalty box, and we had all those. Oh, wow. I'll shut up. Like I say, Morocco, they've really got to do it now, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. I think they're going to probably try and play out for a draw here, to be honest. But I think they're getting a bit, at this moment in time, they're playing a bit like they're on edge, and you can tell they're on edge. They need to calm down a little bit.
Don't you start cracking the edge jokes when you didn't laugh when I did them.
Who?
You just said Morocco were on the edge. I'll forget. Doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
I'll just explain. No, do you not? You've heard of U2?
U2, yeah?
The band, yeah?
Yeah.
So the lead singer with the band is called Bono, Bono.
Okay.
The same name as the Moroccan goalkeeper.
Okay.
And the guitar player in the U2 was called The Edge. That was his stage persona.
Oh dear. Dear.
Whenever we say Bono is on the edge, anyway. That when you got to explain them, but then again you didn't laugh at me even when I did.
True. I suppose once it's explained, you just can't laugh, can you, really?
I think though, in fairness, that's got. I'm going to give myself one of these. for the first edgy joke of the show. But your prediction. How's it going, Maisie?
Not so well, unless Morocco obviously scores, and then my draw will be right, even though the score won't be.
I awarded myself just the winner of the correct prediction because I went 3-0 to Argentina and got the closest.
Did you get the goal scorers right, or did you not predict a goal scorer?
Oh, don't go that deep. No. You know me and foreign players.
To be fair, I did predict Messi to score.
Well, yeah, and I'd love to see him. And I'm sorry, I know he's been a Man United player and everything, but I can't stand Ronaldo.
Neither do I. I don't like him.
No, I mean, a lot of Man United fans, and I guess from that you're one of them, are glad that he's gone.
Yeah, to be honest, I went off him during pre-season because I think he disrespected the club then. And then I think even before the interview, it pushed me after he walked off after the Spurs game. And that interview just made me hate him.
I mean, and, they just got knocked out of the World Cup. And again, he goes off down the tunnel. But I've got to say, all credit to the Portuguese manager for dropping him.
Yeah. Well, his fiancé is blaming the manager. His sisters are blaming the players of Portugal. And the players of Portugal are blaming Argentina. And I think there's always excuses.
it's always somebody's fault with Portugal, but their own, isn't it? You know,
Exactly.
which is why the
I
other
don't
reason
mind Portugal as a club. I think they've got extremely good players, and
I mean, don't get me wrong.
more.
Messi's not an angel. We know, you know.
Did you see the interview? He called someone a fool.
Yeah, I didn't see that, no.
It was literally after the Netherlands game where they won on penalties. He was like, I think it was Spanish. He was speaking in, and he called someone a fool.
At least he wasn't swearing, but we do know that when it comes to money, he finds that a bit taxing. But to me, I would just love him to win it because Ronaldo's out of it so early. And it's his last chance, and he is a fantastic player.
Well, according to him now, he wants to stay up until the Euros for Portugal.
Oh, well, but it's all about him, isn't it? It's not about the team. You know, I think that's why Portugal actually did drop him. But so the prediction so far. So I ended up going for 2-1. Maisie, well, we won't go into that one. Nate went 1-0 to Morocco, so that one's over as well, Nate. How long did yours last? James went 2-0 to France, so that's still on. And David went 2-1 to France, so that's still on as well. So if you haven't put a prediction in, just for fun, get it in. Whoa!
Well, if you want us to be precise, my prediction lasted for 5 minutes.
Yes. That was a good effort there by Morocco.
Yeah, it was a good shot. I think if they went a little bit higher, they could have got that in.
I just realised I was still showing 0-0. And I can't spell Morocco either.
Happens.
I used to be organised. James, keep hitting the like. Subscribe to both channels, guys. My own and to Maisie's as well, as James says there. I mean, France, 4th best team in the world. Morocco, 22nd. We keep saying every year, don't we, that, every World Cup, that it's, that an African team is going to win it. And I thought this might have been the year. But I mean, obviously it's not over yet, but...
I think Senegal was a disappointment, to be honest. I think they could have done a lot better, but they've got a lot of injuries. A lot of people have always predicted South American teams, and I know they're in the World Cup final now, Argentina, or whoever they play against, it's going to be a good game. So, yeah. But we all just know that we always say it's coming home. It never does.
It doesn't, no. And all I can say is thank God. In a way, I'm pleased it isn't, because if it was coming home, because we were over there in Qatar, they'd have to have left it with the neighbours, and Wales and Scotland wouldn't have let us have it back. I mean, I'm doing a show on Friday, by the way, everybody, if you want to tune in and watch it. We're going to be assessing the World Cup, and we're going to be sort of picking out the best players, the worst players, best teams, the most disappointing, etc. And Doug's going to put his team of the tournament together. What do you think of the overall World Cup? I mean, we know it's wrong politically. We know, the stadiums, as nice as they are, were built at a cost. But the actual organisation and the running of the tournament and some of the results we've seen, it's not been a bad World Cup at all, has it?
Yeah, if you take everything out of consideration, why people don't like this World Cup, it's been one of the most exciting World Cups in a long time. It's it's really shown underdogs, results that you would never have expected. Results like Argentina losing against Saudi Arabia being a big one. Tunisia being France is another one. Croatia making it to a semi-final is another big one, because people thought they were past it because they've got so many aging players.
I thought they were awful, to be honest with you, and I really went on a rant last night saying that they didn't deserve to be there, because I think they just all right. You could argue that if they'd gone to Brazil, they'd have got knocked out like they did against, Argentina. But I just think they just showed no fight or whatever. They just one shot on target in a whole game for a World Cup quarter-final. I think it's disgusting.
Do you know they've done the exact same thing against Brazil? One shot on target for the whole game.
That's what I was on about, Brazil.
Oh, when they played against Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry. Yeah.
No, it's awful though, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
It is, and this is the thing: is not many teams can play it out to a penalty shootout.
No.
Not many players and teams can do that. It's got to take a very strong defensive midfield to be able to do that, and they do have fantastic midfielders there of Modric and Brozovic and Kovacic. They've got some fantastic midfielders, but this is the problem as to why they go to penalty shootouts is because they haven't got the pace up front to counter-attack.
Yeah.
You look at Perisic, for instance, he hasn't got the pace, and that's why Conte's using him as a wing-back, because he hasn't got the pace like Son, the pace like Richarlison to attack and win the game.
And referees and VAR, to me, they've been absolutely disgraceful between, both of them together. I mean, that penalty that Brazil got with Richarlison was not. I mean, he's never going to sort of say, oh, hang on, they're coming forward. Oh, good last-minute tackle there by France. He's never going to sort of say, no, honestly, ref, it wasn't a penalty sort of thing. Of course, he's going to claim it, but he had a moment of brilliance with that overhead kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, why aren't Spurs playing him? But then he goes and does something like that, and you're thinking, like, I just hate cheats.
You know what, though? VAR and the rest were very controversial in the first 10 minutes of the World Cup. That's how I knew it was going to be bad. With Ecuador versus Qatar, when they ruled out Valencia's goal was offside.
Yeah, exactly. And an effort there from Giroud, tipped around the post by Bono. He just got an edge to that. No, he didn't. He didn't get a touch. It went over him and hit the post. And he's defying his age. Again, so many players haven't turned up for me for this World Cup. As in, I don't think Modric has had a good World Cup.
No.
I don't think, in fairness, Ronaldo didn't really. Messi took a while to get going. Ericsson didn't. So these big names, and for a lot of them, it probably could be their last World Cup.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is definitely some ones that hasn't turned up either. I'm looking at, like, you either look at the Spain's, everyone's saying that they've got one of the best midfield in the tournament of Gavi, Pedri and Busquets. What was so good about them players? And if anything, they had an advantage as they played in the midfield three for club. So they should know exactly how to play for country.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think they was extremely disappointing, and Germany, they was extremely disappointing as well.
Oh God. Yes.
I must be honest, I couldn't help but laugh.
You didn't laugh at Germany, did you?
Of course I did.
Reese, she doesn't mean it, Reese. Honestly, she doesn't mean it.
I laughed to him.
I know.
I laughed on his watch-along when I was doing it. And I was celebrating when Japan scored against Spain.
Yeah, there's nothing like kicking a man when he's down, is there?
What can I say?
In this, I mean, we're coming up to 20 minutes in the first half here, and apart from the goal, Morocco are very much holding their own.
Yeah, I think Morocco has kept their heads high in this first 20 minutes, even though they've conceded one very quickly. They some teams, once they've conceded one, they can lose their head massively, especially knowing it's early on in the game, and Morocco hasn't done that, and they've had a couple of chances going forward. I think they're just being patient and biding the time right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it here now. I mean, 2 shots each. Both had, well, 3 now. 3 for 3 for France, 1 on target. 2 for Morocco, 1 on target. Pretty much possessions pretty much equal, 42-58. I know it's not equal, but you know what I mean. It's not outstanding. So well done to Morocco. And France, they've got to be careful because we've seen it very often in this World Cup where one goal, unless you go out and try and get that second one, it comes back and bites you on the bum.
Exactly, but as I always say this, don't know if you agree with this as well, but 2-0 is more harder to lose than 1-0. The only reason why I say this is when you are winning 1-0, you're still going to defend for your life because to think, right, okay, I need to do this. But whereas when you're 2-0 up, you think to yourself, a lot of teams seem to think, right, I'm 2-0 up here now, I can slope off a little bit. And that's when the other team comes to bite you.
It can be. I don't think it's down just there's been a substitution already. Sais is coming off injured for Morocco, and I think he's injured anyway. And Amala is coming on. That's 21 minutes gone, and Morocco have made the first change. I'm not sure whether it's tactical or injury at the moment. He was walking off, but I suppose, I mean, they do say, don't they, that teams kind of they reflect the manager. And I'd certainly know that sort of, you know, if we ever went 1-0 up at Leicester, Rodgers always, you knew he was going to go defensive straight away. It's only 1-0. But I'd sooner be 2-0 up than 1-0, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely rather be 2-0 up, but I just think once it comes to 2-0, a team can just get far too comfortable.
They can. No, you know, it's a good point.
Whereas I just don't think when it comes to 1-0, they are very comfortable. Like you're looking at France at the moment, they're still trying to keep possession because they're still, how can I say, they're still quite nervy of the game.
Yeah. Oh, yes, at this point, like you say, 1-0, you just know it's not, you know, it's probably not going to be enough. And, you know, Argentina, I think, found that yesterday. The second goal really killed the game off, and the third one was really just sort of...
Alvarez played fantastic as well, and he was actually linked to Man United last January. We was close to signing him, and then he went to City.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Apparently, it's only the second goal Morocco have conceded this World Cup.
I think the only one they conceded against, I think it was Belgium.
They conceded. Canada scored against them.
Was it Canada? Okay.
Yeah. It is only the second goal. I think it was Jeff said that. I'm not sure who said. Oh, you know, James said it. Sorry, James said it. And you could have said, bloody hell, you know, that's some record for a team. And I'm not putting them down and saying a team from Africa, but you know. You could, let's be honest with you, at the start, we probably all predicted France and Belgium to come out of Croatia and Belgium to come out of that group.
I actually predicted Canada.
Yeah, maybe you should give up doing predictions, Maisie.
Maybe I should, but the only reason why I thought Canada was Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David. They had a couple of great players in there, and I thought that would have been a big difference.
Well, can I just say you are in esteemed company because Doug had Canada going through in second as well. Little did you both know that they were going to be the second worst team at the World Cup.
Well, after Qatar.
Yeah. But do you know what is even more enjoyable? Wales are the third worst team in the World Cup.
I'd have put them before Canada, to be fair.
Yeah, well,
at least Canada could score goals.
Qatar were the 32nd best, shall we say? Then Canada were the 31st best. Oh, and Wales were the 30th best. England were the best team until they got knocked out by France. They were top of the table, but
Wales fans knowing that they were so poor once they got knocked out, they had to support every team England was playing against.
Yes. Yeah. Mike was not happy.
Diddums.
No, not my favourite person at the moment, but there we go. Ravi's in. Good evening, Ravi. How are you?
Hey there, Ravi.
Box Office Maze. Is that your new nickname?
That's what he calls me that, and I call him Raviolo.
I can see yours more than I can say. And I'm not going to ask because I don't think I want to know why he calls you Box Office Maze, but we will not go there. And he says big up as well. Yeah, I must admit, before the England-Wales game, and he did very kindly allow me to clip his video because he was covering the Iran game and I was covering the Wales-Iran game as well. And when Wales scored, myself and Cole stopped talking. And we just had his channel on like full volume, and every other word was an F word. And I tried to edit it out when I showed it the next day with bleeps, but it was literally just one long bleep. He was not a happy chappy.
Well, what can you say? Wales are one of the most overrated teams in the tournament.
Well, I said before at the start, I said no Bale, no Wale. And I think, if Bale doesn't turn up, Wales don't turn up. And I think I was proved right.
Exactly. And they heavily relying on Ramsey.
I mean, the goalkeeper committed harry-kari and dropped down.
Isn't that your goalkeeper?
No. Ours was the one that came on after he sent off.
Oh, yeah, the one who conceded 3.
Now I was saying how nice you were as well.
What can I say? He brings the Leicester to Wales. I got you there, didn't I?
It's a good job you're off screen. A booking now. Oh no, it's a booking for the French player. Or is it booking for the Moroccan? I'm not sure who got the booking there, but it looked like the French guy committed the foul, but it looked like the Moroccan got the yellow card. Yeah, who fouled Morocco is booked by the referee, but it looked like the French guy made the tackle.
They're favouritising it so Mbapp can be in the final.
They're saying what, sorry?
Favouritising it so Mbapp can be in the final.
Well, possibly. But then again, if he gets the golden boot, I'd guess something right this World Cup. Ravi says, where can Morocco exploit France? He then goes on to say, Mays, you're too shameless.
Well, I suppose that's true.
I said, I'm not going to ask any questions. Morocco giving France a good game here. At least they're trying to get back into the game. Yes, they are. When there's a break for an injury at the moment, we are looking now. I mean, it's just half an hour gone, just coming up. 3 shots each. Pretty much attacks 34-36 to Morocco. So. But they've had double the dangerous attacks, Morocco, so they are certainly giving it a go.
Agreed. Completely agree with that. I
think this is a rhetorical question here from Ravi. Mace, do you think Mbapp is overhyped?
Yes.
I think that's all it needs, doesn't it?
I don't think he's anywhere near as good as what people said.
I don't think he's as good as what he thinks he is.
Let's be honest, he's greedy. He's proper greedy, and he has shown his greed when he stayed at PSG and got all the luxury and then decides, I don't want to be at PSG anymore. I'm not happy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
and now PSG want Rashford.
Yeah. Jeff says, what are you referring to here, Jeff? Which team in the 14-15 season? 14-15, we did the Great Escape then, but I'm not sure where you're coming from with that one. You've got me there. It he was asking a question there, and he pressed send before he typed it all out. Which team? Yes, I think we know the answer to this one, but I will ask it anyway, Jeff, just because I like winding people up. Which team in the 2014-15 season lost 5-3 after being 3-1 up? Was it a northern team by any chance, Jeff?
Oh. I'm not going there.
No, I didn't think you would. Morocco coming away again. They are playing really well, Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
come on, Morocco. Do us all a favour. Send Mbapp home.
France can't get it off them all now. So it was
and do us all a favour and let Varane come home so we can rest.
Hey, well, you know, James Madison's coming back uninjured.
Well, yeah, he hasn't played a minute, has he?
No.
Is it true that he went to the World Cup with an injury?
He got injured in the last game against West Ham. He scored a goal. He got injured. He came off after 20 minutes. And he was therefore checked before he went.
Okay.
So in the medical, because they did do a medical before he went for England, Leicester said he was good enough to go, but obviously it's down to England. England did one and said, he's good enough to go. But he was not good enough to even be in the squad for the first game. So he wasn't well. I was unlucky. He wasn't well enough to play in the first game. The second game, he still wasn't, 100% fit. And by the time we went to the third game, he basically was really match fit. He'd only had a couple of days worth of training, so I can understand him not coming on.
He could have at least had 10 minutes, though.
Well, Brazil managed to play everybody, including the third goalkeeper.
That's some doing, though. And I think that's good.
Yeah, I do, in fairness, but he could have come on for, against Senegal, but I don't know. Look, to be honest with you, I'm surprised he went. I'm surprised he took him, but maybe he was just trying
I think it was more of just... I don't mean this in a bad way because I think Madison should have gone through, but I think it was more of the media because the media was saying, oh, James Madison's been in this, and this form. He needs to go. Do you get what I mean? Otherwise, I don't think he would have been picked.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that. Oh, France are breaking away down the far side. There's plenty of defenders back in red. A long shot there. Oh, it hits one of the said defenders, and they've got it now, and it was offside anyway. I hate this where you get excited and then they say it's offside about 5 minutes later.
Oh no! Why don't they just blow the offside whistle ages ago? But is it true? All right, I read this report. I don't know how true this is. James Madison apparently watched the videos of Bruno Fernandes from his first season and a half at Man United, and that's how he gained his great form for this season.
I do not know. I'm going to be honest with you.
I read that report and I was like, really? And I was thinking, look at Bruno, the little influencer.
I mean, he was a good player. Then he had the one bad season. So he did. I know Brendan Rodgers told him to go off and, check things and what have you. But what he did, I don't know. So I can't say yes or no. And let's be honest with you. If he did, he's not a bad player, is he, Bruno, really?
Oh yeah, I think he's just overhated.
He does like an argument though.
Yeah, he does.
Ravi says, I think he's going to get one off you in a minute. Mbappe living that Gucci lifestyle like you, Mays.
I don't live no Gucci lifestyle. I wish.
Gucci in Manchester. Fake Gucci, probably.
Didn't you live in Burnley?
Used to. I left. That's the difference. And Ravi says, we all know Mays loves Varane. I know she hides it well, though, Ravi, doesn't she? She only lets it slip maybe 10 times a game. Oi! And there's an over. Oh, that was Fofana. Not our Fofana, the other Fofana.
It's not your Fofana anymore. It's Chelsea's Fofana.
I can't be honest with you, they are welcome to him.
He got an injury anyway.
I know. It's a shame he didn't break his leg and it be career ending, but there we go. You know. I don't like the guy, as you can probably guess.
I knew after he betrayed us.
Well, he was just the way he did it. You know what I mean? Fair enough. You know, he doesn't know loyalty to Leicester, but it was just the way that he went round it.
No, I agree.
What got me was that when he was too stressed to play, and Maddison scored a lovely free kick against Southampton, he never even stood up and applauded. He never even applauded. He just sat there.
No, it's disgusting.
He sends a thing on when Maddison was picked for England, and well done, bro. I knew you could do it. Proud of you. And like, oh, France now. Yeah. Oh, how did he miss it? Oh, Giroud. Giroud, what are you going to do?
Giroud's lucky to be in this lineup. I'm not saying he's a bad player because I think he's great, but if Benzema was there, he would have no way been in that first team.
I mean, he should have got that, shouldn't he? I mean, well, France should have got the second goal in that run of play there.
It was good defending, though, off Morocco.
Last ditch, but yeah, they stopped them, so that's therefore it becomes good defending, doesn't it? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do look to be quick on the counter. That as well. That was the proof in the pudding there, Ravi. Ravi says Southgate is a wally. Oof, that was a bit close there.
That's why he pitched Trent Alexander-Arnold. Thanks for informing us.
Mike is in the chat. Good evening, Mike. If Morocco win tonight, I'm sure you'll find a little bit Moroccan blood in you as well. Ravi, is it true James Maddison is linked with Newcastle? Look, I said about...
Oh, this is just going to grate on Chris now, this.
Yeah, no. To be honest with you, he's still got a bit of a contract to go, so they'd have to pay for him.
How long's he got? 2 years?
A year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a half. But you know what? When Newcastle came in for him before, do you know what they offered?
I bet it was about 30 mil.
No, well, I don't know the actual amount, but what they said is, can we buy him now and pay you all later?
They've got enough money.
Like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Look, it's how many players have been linked with Arsenal and how many have ended up there? The answer to the second part is nil from Leicester. So it's all paper talk. If he goes, and we'll get a nice return on him. Thank you very much. And if he stays, he stays. So, you know, it's got a new family. So everybody's being linked with everybody, and it's all rumours. So, you know,
everyone is linked to Newcastle at the moment because of the new ownership.
Yeah, and of course Eddie Howe's being linked with England if.
The new favourites. The favourites for England job is Tuchel, Pochettino, and Garrett and Steven Gerrard. I thought it was. I thought Scousers weren't English, so.
Well, that is very true. Well, then again, 3 foreigners there, isn't it? But I'm sorry, for me, I'd want an English manager.
For me, I just think it's how good the manager is, because I used to agree that yes, it should be an English manager, but you can't take away what Serena Weigman done for the England women. No,
and you know, Sven got us to 2 quarterfinals in the World Cups and the quarterfinal in the Euros, but I don't know. I just think, I just prefer an English manager, and to me, there's only one person it can be, and that would be Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I think everyone's gone off the Graham Potter bandwagon now.
Say that again, sorry.
I think everyone's gone off the Graham Potter bandwagon now.
Amazing that, isn't it? You know, I mean, everybody was bigging him up and like...
making out he's the best English manager, about how good he was. He would smash at any big club. I said, this is going to be a hit and miss. He's never had European football. Like, a lot of people wanted him at United. I was like, he's never had European football. I and he hasn't performed at a big club. Like Brighton's a great club and all, but he hasn't had the responsibility.
But then again, in fairness, nor had Southgate, and he's been, well, you could say he's been more successful than Alf Ramsey, because Alf Ramsey only got us to, well, he gets to one final and he won it, of course, but, you know, I thought that was a second goal then.
So did I, off our Varane.
Yeah.
I mean, my Varane.
Your Varane, yes. Maisie's Varane. Varane's first name is actually Maisie's. He will, from this point moving forward, now be known as Maisie's Varane. Brendan Rodgers linked to England. I'm not sure. If people don't like Southgate, they're not going to like Brendan Rodgers, because he's even more frustrating.
Do you know, I'm going to tell you something what's even funnier. Like, everyone wanted Graham Potter, right? And they said that Gareth Southgate plays boring 5 at the back, but Graham Potter plays 5 at the back at Brighton.
Yes. It's I mean, look at Brendan Rodgers, for, you know, as Ravi's just said there, that, you know, when we won the I would say World Cup then, when we won the FA Cup and we were finishing 5th, he was being linked with Man United, he was being linked with Tottenham, Chelsea, but, you know, Real Madrid, you know, 12 months later, he's not even being linked with Scunthorpe United, let alone Man United. So football is a fickle sport, unfortunately.
Thank you for keeping him. It really means a lot.
I'll tell you what, I have gone, because, and I didn't want to talk about Leicester, but I'll just say this. About 5 weeks ago, I did a thing for the BBC website, and I said, please, Brendan Rodgers, get out of our club. That was the title of the piece I wrote. And yet now I know what has gone on in the summer with financial fair play and not being able to buy anybody, etc. I'm now saying, well, if he gets us into the top half, he deserves another year, because he's done that under all that pressure.
In Ayers mid-table now, or near enough?
We are, yes, but I mean, it's obviously early. I mean, the thing is, there's only like 2 points off. I think it was something like 3 points off 4th from bottom, and only about 4 points off Man United or something. It's a weird season and a weird table.
Let's say that to the Arsenal fans who think it's going to win the league.
I think they might do, you know.
Oh, don't say that. It'll not be sick. Just as bad as Liverpool winning the league.
I was going to say, I don't think Man United will this season, but then again, you know,
I predicted us 5th. I was an honest United fan. I predicted us 5th.
Yeah, but you know, I think you're finally, and a lot of Manchester United fans are finally, and I'm not being dispassionate, and we're not just going to suddenly change managers, and we've got to work at this, and we've got to really try and it took Liverpool 30 years to get back to the top.
Yeah, exactly. It did. So I do think that we've got the right manager, though. So
yes, I do. And you sometimes need that. And I mean, even better news for you is the fact that the Glazers might be selling you.
Yeah, it's rumours. Everyone's getting too happy about it. I was like, until it's on the dotted line, I'm not going to trust it.
It is amazing that they have put no money of their own into buying it, and they're trying to sell it for about 4 or 5 times what they paid for it or something.
So they put us instantly in debt from when they bought us. They took that much out of the club, and they've been taking money out every year since. So we're in over £1 billion debt now.
Ooh, Morocco
they said when they sell up, they're not paying it back.
Wow.
So
and
we're
the
going to be in
Dreams is a bit of a not the stadium it used to be, is it?
No, it's not. And even as a women's fan point of view, like supporting the women's team, like there was 5 clubs out of 12 who had a bigger budget than us in the summer.
Wow.
And you look at that and think, if there was actually investment there, we would have had probably the second best budget after Chelsea.
Yeah, I think for me the thing with AFC, what you're doing, you don't come onto somebody else's channel and promote your own. I don't know if James is in, if you can get away from that. We do that. That's a bit of a no-no, I'm afraid. AFCB. That's the second one tonight, isn't it? I'll be back. Coming up to half time. I'm just going to go and remove that comment.
Well, you did say it at the start of the stream.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you. I think for me with Man United is that when you come to think the Premier League's been going 30 years this season, for the first 25 of those, Man United were the dominant team. So how many of your fans have known nothing but success? And that's the thing. They haven't known or remember the times before that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I was one of them, but...
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. When have you known, Man United not win something? Well, apart from recently, but, you did.
I was going to say recently, but you beat me to
it. Oh, corner from Morocco. Lloris went up for it and managed to get it the second attempt. But apart from that, you had total and utter dominance. And when you've only been used to that, if somebody said that to me and I thought, yeah, that's a fair point, actually, then that I think is why Man United fans are sort of not cocky, but, they're not.
A lot of them are. A lot are. I'd say about 95% of them are delusional and they annoy me. So,
but it comes. Look at Leicester after we won the damn thing. Half our fan base was saying that. Well, that's it. We're top 5 every season now. We're not. And we're talking about Arsenal. Anthony is in. Big up, Chris and May. We are well, Anthony. How the devil are you? And Ravi says 2017, last time United won big. I thought, is Ravi not a man? Is Ravi a Liverpool fan?
Yeah, Ravi's a Liverpool fan.
I thought he was. 3 minutes of injury time coming up. And you know what, Maisie?
Mm-hmm.
If we only had the Ninja Turtles, we could have ninjury time. Oh, yes. They're coming with me to the Premier League, everybody. Don't worry. You won't be seeing... The Turtles will not be finishing when the World Cup does. A cross coming in from Morocco. Oh, punched clear there. A good punch clear by Lloris. A lot of people were questioning him at the start of the World Cup, but I don't think he's had a bad World Cup.
He hasn't really. I'll give him that. But I think, though, that when it comes to the Euros, I don't think he's going to be number 1 goalkeeper.
No.
I think it'll end up being Mike Mangum from AC Milan.
Yeah. Russ is in. Evening, Chris and Maisie. Good to see you both.
Russ.
Thank you, Russ. I'm sorry, I have replied to your message, mate. Unfortunately, I am doing the World Cup myself, and it is half time. It is 1-0. Mays, you never let me forget I'm a Liverpool fan. And I didn't either. I believe actually, Ravi, didn't Leicester win the Premier League before Liverpool actually did? By about 5 years or 6 years?
Chris, you have won as many Premier League titles than Liverpool.
Yes, indeed. And we've won more than Arsenal, more than Spurs. Sorry, I always get Spurs and Arsenal mixed up. It's so easy.
Just think about you've won the same amount as Liverpool, and then it's just soothing.
All I will say is we've got a 19-year-old left back that's won more trophies than Harry Kane. Just saying. There we go. Anthony's cold. Get the missus to warm you up, Anthony. Ravid. Dembele has not been the best this tournament. We were saying there's been a lot of players that haven't. Maisie, 1-0, half-time. France, did he deserve it?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a good strike by Fernandez, but overall, Morocco has been the better team. I think there was a little bit shaky at the start of the game, and that probably was what cost them. That bit of pressure's onto them. The first African team in the semi-finals for the World Cup, and they want to do well. France, I think they still got that on their hands. They want to make it to 2 finals in a row. So they wanted to get off strong and start very strong, which they did. And I think the good thing is Morocco stayed in the game, and if they continue how they are, and if France continue to make these dirty tackles like they did against us, then I think that Morocco will have a goal very soon.
Yeah, I think they will. And the game would be great if they do get another goal, Have France got another gear in them, do you think?
I think, to be honest, I don't think they've been that special.
Cheers, James. Thank you.
And they don't really... Bye, James. And I don't think that they've got a very good bench. When I looked at the bench, the only threatening option they've got is Kingsley Coman. I don't think the rest of the France squad is a team where I can say, wow, I'm really scared for this player's going to come on and this player's going to come on. And I think maybe the manager's happy it's only 1-0 down rather than more. So it's something that can be worked upon.
Yeah, I mean, stats don't tell you the full story, obviously, but 56% possession to Morocco, 5 shots to Morocco, 9 to France. Both of them have had 2 on target, but France have almost like just sitting back and saying, "Well, come on, you've got to get a goal, and we're just going to hit you on the break."
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they're heavily relying on. I think that's what they're relying on, counter-attacking football, because they've got the pace.
They have, and I just think it is a dangerous game to play, though, because if Morocco do get that one, that's going to then give Morocco the boost of being getting the goal, and we have seen that Morocco, they are good of holding on and getting it to penalties.
They are. They're good at holding on to go to penalties. They're good at finding chances as well. And the thing is, France is giving away little silly free kicks. And getting on to Ziyech, as Ravi has said, Ziyech has been fantastic. And I think he is a potential threat in them set pieces and free kicks. So I think France needs to be extremely careful in what they're playing, because they're playing an extremely dangerous game.
One thing that I have one of several things I have noticed about this World Cup, but that final third, not just from like the Canadas and the Qatars, but how many shots? I'm just watching one then from Giroud, and the finishing has been pretty awful from all the big teams.
Mm-hmm. You look at France in particular, them 3 forward players, they should be doing a whole lot better, in my opinion. Giroud is, for me, he is criminally underrated striker. And the thing is, he does things to benefit the team. He'll start or he'll come off the bench, and I don't think he has complaints about that. Mbappe is one of the best in the world right now. If I like him or don't like him, he's still up there. So it's just one of them, and he's gonna be having a lot of chances. Dembele, I don't want to go on to this guy. He's a waste of air to talk about. I'm not a fan of Griezmann, if you want me to be honest.
I was going to say there, he hasn't impressed me in this game. I haven't looked at him and thought, oh, wow, Griezmann's got the ball and gone, yeah.
Where's he been?
No,
I haven't even seen him touch a ball.
quite possibly, you know what my eyes are like? I'm probably thinking it's Mbappe and it's Griezmann.
Yeah,
That's
but
how
you see,
my
I've
eyes
got glasses on, Chris.
are. But, I mean, Rio Ferdinand's just said here on the BBC, we highlighted France's left as a weakness and Morocco have targeted that. Certainly as that half has gone on, it looks like they might get some joy down there.
France's left. I'm trying to think who's
On France's left, you have got you've got Hernandez at the back. Fofana's kind of central left centre, and Mbappe, as it happens.
Well, that's exactly where they're going wrong.
Hmm.
You know what? If Rabiot was playing, right, I'd say, you know what, right? That is a weak spot. But for me, I think the right-hand side is the weak spot. Jules Koundé, for one, is playing out of position.
Yeah.
He's a centre-back, and he plays as centre-back for club. Tuka Mene, I think he's fantastic. He's definitely a threat. But Dembele, he is... I don't rate him, and he's one of them wingers who don't like to track back to help for the team. So for me, in terms of the tactics, if that is the case and they're attacking the left, I think they've got that completely wrong.
Yes, yeah. Do you think France, I mean, when you look at the players that they are missing, and yet they are 45 minutes away from being in the second World Cup in a row, I mean, that strength in depth is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely frightening, and I think for me, probably Tuka Mene was a difference, because if it was Tuka Mene of the Euros, for instance, who hardly played, I think it could have been a completely different story for France. And Tuka Mene's been playing games now for Real Madrid because Casemiro was left Real Madrid to come to us. So he's getting more minutes now because he was their initial backup and now become a first-team player. And I think if that injury crisis of theirs happened in the Euros and Tuka Mene there'd have been no chance they would have done so well. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't trust Rabiot with a bad pull. I must be honest. I don't like the guy.
Don't hold back. Say what you think, Maisie.
I feel sorry for Kante. Like, Kante's just got a really nice smile. He's a humble guy. Feel sorry for him that he's not gone into the World Cup. Pogba, good. I'm glad you're not in the World Cup.
What about one of the defenders they've got there, Varane? What do you think about him?
Varane annoyed me. I'll tell you why he's annoyed me. He has been injured for the United for the last 3 to 4 games. But then he finds fitness for in the World Cup in the second/third group stage game.
Oh dear! I only said that to wind you up.
So he's a naughty Varane.
No, he's not called Naughty Varane. Remember, he's called Maisie's Varane. Let's give him his proper name. Anyway,
that's right.
It's half time. I need to go and water the plants. So.
I need to do the same. I've got plenty of plants to water.
Yes, indeed. And maybe even drop the kids off at the pool. Who knows? But we will be back after this short break. As they always say, don't touch that dial.
Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
And this is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude.
There I am. I was actually about to say them. Sorry for the full frontal of Maisie, but I don't think that was the phrase I was looking for at all. I meant the full screen of Maisie, but you're muted, Maisie.
Your viewers liked my full face.
Sorry?
Your viewers liked my full face.
Well, you know me, do anything to get subscriptions.
You what?
You know, this is. I'm going down the BBC route. You see, getting more ladies on the channel. David is saying, Ravi's still. I think Ravi needs to, well, I think he's got a soft spot for you here, Maisie. Maisie low key loves her boy Maze Varane. I said that, Ravi.
Who doesn't love a bit of Varane? Let's just be honest. Even Chris likes a bit of Varane.
Oh, I'm like that. I've got a soft spot for you, Maisie. A swamp at the bottom of the garden. Oh, and we've kicked off. He said, quickly changing the subject. There we go. Morocco, I can see them. If they can get an early goal, it's going to make it really, really exciting.
Yeah, come on, Morocco. Let's do this. Let's bring it for everybody.
Yeah, we've got the third place playoff on Saturday. I will be doing. I'm sure again a lot of people will be doing that. I'm doing it on this, and I'm also doing it in conjunction with Doug's Dugout Football Channel as well.
Yeah, you've been working a lot with Doug, haven't you, during the World Cup? You both collabed very, very well.
We have, yes. We're a bit of the old man love going on there. You know.
Yeah, your bromance and it blossomed with dad jokes.
Do not. I know. Yeah.
I do love Doug. I think he's a lovely man.
He is. And he covered one for me while I was away in London.
I know. While she was on chilling with West Ham. I didn't know he was a secret West Ham fan.
Well, to be honest with you, it ruined my weekend. Seeing that.
You don't mean it. You went just to see David Moyes. You was doing managerial scouting.
Well, I had to go past Millwall to get to West Ham, so I don't know what that says.
Bloody hell, did you bring a bulletproof vest in Millwall?
I know, exactly, yeah. I'm glad the train didn't stop there, you know. Ravi said it sounds like an Oasis rip-off of their song I'm Free. That's one of my mates that does the Leicester Till I Die song. He does that one as well. Did anyone see Belgium-England in 2018?
I'm guessing that was the last World Cup.
Haha, Chris, you are a joker. I'm just going to clip that because nobody's ever actually accused me of being a joker before. Not with my jokes. You know what we're going to do, Maisie?
Yeah.
Me and Doug. Have you ever seen them? I think on TikTok and on YouTube, the Alan Shearer and Ian Wright, where they tell each other jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have one of those nights, and we're going to do a show where we're trying to make each other laugh. So,
well, that's going to be an interesting.
We
one.
might not make anybody else laugh, I should say, obviously, but can't have everything.
No, it'd be a good one though.
I'll tune in. Now then, I think France are going to be asking, have they got a penalty? I'm not sure. Bono's down.
Nah, that's not a foul. That's not a penalty. Not a doubt. He literally. No,
Did he just fall off the edge?
I was literally looking at the Croatian goalkeeper, but I don't think there's enough in it.
Ooh, no, you probably.
I would have carded Mbappe just for the banter.
Oh no, he was halfway down. He was halfway down before he even touched him.
Yeah, falling over his own feet.
We need. I mean, France have come out for this. They are definitely looking for their second one.
Oh yeah.
I want to ask you about it. Is your dad a Man United fan as well?
He is.
Fair
We're all
play to him.
United fans in this family.
Are you? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get adopted, you know.
Oh dear. Was all your family Leicester fans then?
No, none of my family were football fans at all. My dad was a wrestling fan, and this was not WWE. This was Big Daddy and Giant Haystack.
Oh, that's proper wrestling then.
Well, indeed, yes. And my older brother just wasn't into sport, so nobody in my family even supported football at all. So I just blossomed. The first game I ever went to see was we played Red Star Belgrade, as was then, who had come over and they had beaten Nottingham Forest. Sorry, Luke, if you're in 3-0. And we were only in the Championship at the time, and we actually managed to beat them. And I was kind of hooked from that moment on.
Oh, that's great.
But
Morocco are doing a good go. Just not enough. I don't. Oh, crikey. What a lad.
You know, there's something about, I'm really, really surprised that Father Christmas bothers to come down the chimney, because if he gets stuck, he'll hate it because he's really claustrophobic.
Oh, that was a bad joke. That was a bad joke.
But you laughed. You laughed. Oh, dear.
I laughed because it was bad.
Bad. It was bad. Oh, and now another French player's gone down. I tell you one thing that I've really, really enjoyed about this World Cup. I think the offsides have been stupid. I really do. But I love the fact that if you're down on the field for, like you said, like taking 10 minutes out of the game with injuries, that those 10 minutes are added on at the end. And I think that's a good thing, to be honest with you.
It is a good thing, but on the other breath, you think, already, I love on this game finished.
Well, yeah, if it's a 0-0, there's been some of those, hasn't it? You know, like
by that, England-Iran game was ridiculous on extra time.
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining at the time because I was working and work the World Cup on for us. We've watched all the games when it was on during work hours. So I wasn't complaining because it was because of work, but if I was watching it from home, I'd have been fuming.
I was doing. I did a couple of those watch-alongs on my own.
They were knackered with all that extra time.
I mean, them 4 o'clock games were the graveyard shift anyway, so.
Yeah, I even tuned my radio in the car so I can listen to the World Cup on the way home from work.
Can I just say, I don't know if you saw Infantino there. Excuse me. What's he trying to be? Get down with the kids. He's got a suit and tie on and then white trainers.
The guy wants to look snazzer, as I like to say.
He fails miserably.
To be honest, though, the only one who really wears white trainers and actually puts in a little bit of swag is the sporting manager. And he looks good for it, but sometimes I think, what the hell are you wearing?
Again, you're not biased at all there, are you?
No, I think he looks pretty cool.
No, yeah. Much like verandas. Oh, go on, Morocco. Oh, God. Oh.
These crosses aren't doing him a favour.
Both sides are coming out and going for it, though.
I need a Morocco flag.
You what, sorry?
I need a Morocco flag.
But I got my Christmas tree this morning.
What Christmas tree is this?
That you put up for Christmas. I don't know what other sort of Christmas trees are there.
What, did you buy a real one?
Yeah, I went and it was a really big one. And the guy said, "My God, that's a big Christmas tree, sir. Are you going to put it up yourself?" I said, "No, the lounge."
Oh dear. Oh dear. There's me thinking that when you said at first about putting a tree up, I was expecting like some kind of like video to come on of a meme of a Christmas tree. And that's like the rock Christmas tree.
Oh, walking around the Christmas tree. Oh. Yeah, Chris, that's some. Oh, it was a snazzy. That's such a mazy word. She's down. Well, she's down with the kids. She is still one of the kids, isn't she? When you think about it.
Well, what can I say? I'm officially an adult. I'm 22 now, Chris.
22. Good God. It's a third of my age.
You knew me when I was 20.
That could have gone so wrong in so many places. I play it like
I was literally counting, even though
it has only been a couple of years. Honestly, guys, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know her before.
No.
I remember one of the first things that I ever saw of you when you did it. Did you have a very interesting key ring?
Oh dear.
The answer to that then is yes, she did.
And now people are going to be thinking, what are you on about?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to leave that out there. I remember my ex-wife, I always used to say to her, could we have sex with the key rings? And she'd always say promise, but she'd never do it. And personally, I think she was just fobbing me off. Hey. Oh, thank you, Gary Delaney, for all of these. Oh, I tell you what, France are living dangerously.
They are. Morocco are looking sharp.
Yeah. And in fairness, they've got to come out for it and go for it. And in fairness, they are.
They're playing very well, but didn't... Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Morocco was in a losing position against Canada, but I'm not saying Canada's nowhere near the team France are, though. But no. You get what I mean.
Yeah. If you're in the chat still, Melina, she doesn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it in a bad way.
No, I know. They were just shite, though, Canada, weren't they? Let's be honest.
Cover your ears, Melina. Oh, look who's down.
I just say it's nice to see Melina doing well and get after a recent illness. It was a bit of a shock.
Mm-hmm. It sure is good to always see Melina.
Yeah. And mind you, having said that, I think if I ever went down and saw 2 games at the Emirates, that'd probably have the same effect on me.
Well, we all, when Man United travel to the Emirates, it's always a good thing. I don't know if you've seen the women's score. We beat Arsenal 3-2 at the Emirates.
No, because I don't tend to sort of check the women's scores out too much this season.
I suppose that all you see is loss. So
7. 7 of the Red Elves, indeed, yes. Because somebody predicted them to go down. I blame them. Yes, you may well cough, young lady.
My prediction's right. We need the chant from Morocco.
Yeah.
What shall we chant for Morocco?
I wonder if Santa Claus likes crisps.
Crisp.
Suppose if he did, his favourite ones would be crisp Pringles.
Wow.
Can I just say, everybody, you're getting this for free. You know what I mean? If you went to see Peter Kay, you'd have to pay.
Well, I suppose you're doing stand-up comedy sat down.
I am. It's my age. It really is. We've got half an hour left, just over. Probably about half an hour because I'm behind. Morocco, they're giving it their all. France looking a bit wobbly at the back, do you think?
Yeah, they are looking wobbly at the back. Not Varane's fault, but
of course not. Who would blame Varane?
But I think, though, for me, Morocco, as much as Morocco's looking dangerous, the crosses are crap.
But this has happened with so many teams. It's like you have a look at how many so-called dangerous attacks, which I think basically attacks in the final third, that these teams have, and then you have a look at how many shots they have, and there's just absolutely no comparison at all.
Well, that's going to be the same tonight with Morocco.
I mean, I watching Qatar play, I thought, oh God, it's like watching Man United.
No, it's like watching Norwich.
Oh God, they got a chance of coming back up, haven't they?
Unfortunately.
Oh, Ravi, if only you knew, mate. I've got a lot more. Not just the key rings. I don't, honestly. Seriously.
Do you know, I had a bit of a rule. Well, I wanted a rule to come out for football. Just going out a bit of subject. If a team was promoted and relegated out the championship 3 times in 10 years, they have to have a ban. It gives teams more, like teams who played well but struggled to get up. Do you get what I mean? Like the Sheffield United, for instance. And
you just described me there. I play very well, but I do struggle to get up. Moving on.
I just think it's unfair that you've got the yo-yo teams who come up constantly, and you've got teams who play very well, but they struggle to get up because you've got teams in there whose championship side is far too good, and they've got a very weak Premier League side.
Norwich and Watford, 2 teams that are exactly
West
that.
Brom used to be the same until they appointed Steve Bruce.
Who did, sorry?
West Brom used to be like that till they appointed Steve Bruce.
They did, but then when I actually look back, they did have about 7 years in the top flight at one time.
Yeah.
But I don't think that teams should have parachute payments if they get relegated.
Agreed.
That's giving them an unfair advantage from the start. It means they can keep hold of their better players because they've got the money to maybe give them a slightly, better pay deal. And obviously they can go out and buy new players. I do not agree with the parachute payments at all.
Because even if the team got relegated, for instance, they've still got a fantastic side in the championship.
Yeah.
Even if they lost a few players.
Some teams would lose a lot of players, and those players aren't worth having. Weghorst at Burnley, for example, he didn't want to play in the second tier. They're better off without him.
Well, yeah, because look how they are now.
Exactly. But I just think, I don't know. I like to see, because I still think of Leicester. We're not a big team. We're not one of the big ones. We know that, and I just want to see, teams when they come up. I'd have loved to have seen Luton come up last season.
Oh yeah, I would have liked to see Luton. I wouldn't have minded Sheffield United again.
No, because when they came up, they had a couple of seasons.
Yeah, they had a couple of seasons, and they were pretty good in the first season as well. I couldn't discredit them at all. Who else was in that thingy as well?
I mean, a lot of teams do struggle in the second season when they get promoted. I mean, look at Leicester. Oh no, don't we won it? Of course. Just I'd mention that.
Yeah.
No, it's true though. I mean, there's just the teams that come up, and I think Watford. I mean, they deserve to go down the way they sack their managers.
Yeah, it's disgusting. There's absolute, but the thing is, Chelsea's the exact same, and Chelsea don't get spoken about for it. They're seen as good success.
It needs to change. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit worried that the old European Super League may come back in one form or another.
Well, hopefully it doesn't, especially if the Glazers sell up, because they're near enough at bankruptcy.
I mean, would you? I mean, yes, of course you want to see the best teams. I get that. That's one of the reasons why.
But the thing is, that's what the Champions League is for, to see the best teams.
Yes.
And I think the Champions League format is completely wrong. Champions League is for the champions to play. Not for the fourth best team in England to play, not for the third best team in Spain to play. For me, in my opinion, it should be first place and second place. That's what I think.
I go further than that, and I think it should be just first place. And if you were finished first in Scotland, or you finish first in Wales, or
I suppose second place wouldn't be fair for Scotland for them to go into the Champions League. Look how Rangers done. You don't want to put them through that again.
No. And that said that it's it's the only way Liverpool are probably going to ever get back in it at the moment. All right, Ravi. But no, these leagues where you finish top and then you've got to go through a playoff. Why? Yeah. You're champions. I completely agree.
It. And I think as well, there's so many clubs that are not who's been champions of their country but not in it. You look at, for instance, like Poland.
Yeah, exactly. And why aren't because they got knocked out in the in the qualifiers? I mean, it's all wrong. But
I think first and second anyway. And then I always say Europa League should be third and fourth, or it should be FA Cup winners and third.
Well, I mean, years ago, and they always say if it's not fixed, don't break it. We used to have the European Cup, then we had the Cup Winners' Cup, and if you won the Cup Winners, if you won the FA Cup, you'd go into a Cup Winners' Cup, and that was great. I mean, I just think it's all about money, though, isn't it? And the thought that you thought if they did what I said, my God, they wouldn't have. Barcelona or Real Madrid wouldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm. I think as well.
It's wrong. It is. It is totally wrong.
I think as well, like having like European competitions where the top four best teams can get that season can get in it. I think it creates laziness in a kind of way because it, as there's some ownerships, they'll look at it and go, "Oh, doesn't matter if you don't win the league. If you lose this game, but you manage to be in the top four." As secures that Champions League money, it's fine. And that shouldn't be the case. Your owners and your board should be wanting to back your team to win the league every single year.
Yeah. I mean, Ravi says that. I mean, Ravi, I was winding you up. You will be. But it's wrong that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the last time Liverpool won the Champions League, they weren't actually champions of England.
That's correct, yes, because Manchester City won the league. Yeah. And I think they won the Champions League in 2019, Liverpool. And then the season after, they won the Premier League.
But again, Chelsea, I think they've just won it and they're not.
Yeah,
they weren't champions.
The 2021 final. Yeah. And
it's completely wrong, but... I mean, if you've got an away game against I don't know, let's say Burnley, if they were in the Premier League. Then next week it was Newcastle. Then the week after that it would be Arsenal. You know, you got 3 away games in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It's not too bad, but how can you afford to fly to Spain to watch you play Real Madrid, and then 2 weeks later you fly to Germany to watch Bayern, and then
I must be honest, it's more expensive to travel to Old Trafford.
Well, actually, you got a point there, but oh, France are going for it now. Oh, it's head tennis. But you get the point I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely get the point what you're making, but there's some clubs that sell the Champions League tickets dirt cheap. I'm just going to name one, for instance, because I actually looked at the ticket. Sporting. That when they was in the Champions League before they got knocked out this season, they was their Champions League tickets for a home game quite near the pitch was €20, and that's 18 quid in our money. And I look at that, but that's fantastic price, and you can get flights cheap to Portugal.
Yes, yeah. I just we know it's all wrong, don't we? You know,
yeah.
But,
I suppose you probably didn't expect to offer Man United fan.
But you know when I go back to when Leicester were in the Champions League, I think that's when sort of teams were starting saying, "Well, hang on a second, because Leicester are in it. That means one of the big teams hasn't gone in it." And I think it was probably, it wasn't Tottenham. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was, to be honest. But obviously, we were in it, so one of the big clubs wasn't. And it was after that it all seemed to sort of kind of change. And I know we had to play in that stupid International Champions Cup or something that an American had come up with. And, you know, I just think that attitude, you know, Arsene Wenger came out and went, "Oh, do you know what? Leicester are going to embarrass England in the Champions League." Mm-hmm. Well, funnily enough, Arsene, that was the season you lost 10-2 on aggregate to, I think it was Bayern Munich.
Just looking at it was Man United who wasn't in the Champions League.
I wasn't sure, but I didn't like to say in case it was.
I wanted to double check, but
yeah. I mean, you see this.
That was
Ravi, I'm not having a dig at you here, Ravi, right? But this is what annoys fans of not of the so-called Big Six, if you like. What is the point of the Europa Conference League? And to
you know what,
it's in for Frown, and it's
called. It'll be the Big Seven soon when Newcastle.
Yeah, yes, but to me, it's like you as a Liverpool fan, you're looking down your nose at the Europa Conference League, but as a Leicester fan, as a West Ham fan, as an Everton fan, that gives us the chance of European football. Mm. You know, when Liverpool are knocked out of Europe and we're in the semi-final of the Conference League, I would have loved us to have won that and been the first name on it.
Yeah.
You know, and
I do disagree though with the Champions League and Europa League. Like third place goes into Europa.
100%.
Conference. 100%. I think once you're knocked out, you're knocked out. You shouldn't have that second opportunity because it prevents the likes of the West Hams, the Leicesters, the Evertons of actually winning a trophy. I think as well, the Carabao Cup, the teams who are in European football shouldn't be allowed to participate in it because they've already got one extra more trophy than other people's.
I agree. I think the Carabao Cup, TV companies can't even be bothered to show them until it gets to the semis or whatever.
I don't like the Carabao Cup, to be fairly honest.
I don't mind it as League Cup. We've won it a few times, but it was
better when it was the Carling Cup.
I don't think Premier League teams. I think they could do without it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it should be non-European clubs who should go in it because it would be good to see the likes of, like, you look at Crystal Palace. They was in the semi-finals, wasn't they, last year? The Carabao or the FA Cup, one of the two.
I think it was the FA actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just good for teams like Palace, Leicester, West Ham. There's some great teams in the Premier League and also in the Championship.
When we were in the Europa League and the Conference League, the League Cup was a pain in the arse, you know. And I agree with you that it shouldn't be. I mean, we come, you know, we've got a game in a week and a bit's time against MK Dons in the League Cup. Don't get me wrong, I want them to win it, and I'd love to win the cup because it's another cup sort of thing, you know. But another trophy. That was an awful shot there from Fofana. Bloody hell!
Not Chris's Fofana.
Target. No. You caught me out there. I can't even say anything to that. But no, teams that it's like, and I'm not having a dig at United here, but you know, you nearly won the Europa League by failing to qualify through the Champions League for the latter stages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
now,
that is correct. In the 2020 season,
it went to penalties, and I believe your goalkeeper couldn't kick a ball, if I remember rightly.
Oh.
No, but you know what I mean? Is it right that you could have won that because you'd failed in another one? It's like saying, get knocked out of the FA Cup, so you go and play in the Carabao Cup. And Ravi, the Milk Cup, the Littlewoods Cup, the Carling Cup. It's been called a few things.
But and don't forget, I'm just thinking of who was in. And you had last season the Europa League, Barcelona going far in it. Leipzig, another one who got knocked out. Atalanta.
Yeah, I agree. It's totally. Yeah, I mean it's. But look, you know, football is. Oh, Morocco. Go on, my son. Still got it. 15 minutes to go.
Oh, these bloody jammer French. Jammer. How they managed a 1-goal lead. You see what I mean, Chris?
They are holding on because they know that the nearer to full time it gets, the more Morocco are going to go at them. And I can see France maybe sneaking a second one. Just at the end.
I think so.
15 minutes left. I've been impressed with Morocco. I know we've talked through much again, but I've really been impressed with them.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Morocco as well, and it is a shame if they don't get into the final, but they should be proud of themselves of where they've got to.
I think they're the first African team into the semis, aren't they?
They are, yeah. And the thing is, no one ever expected Morocco. They expected Senegal out of all African teams.
Yes. I was disappointed with Senegal, to be honest with you. I thought they were going to put up a sterner test for us.
I was disappointed with the Netherlands as well. Might as well put in Qatar through.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Germany, Spain, you know, Uruguay. Woo! That was a shame, wasn't it?
Poor Germany. Germany done me good.
Reece won't be happy with you.
Oh, well.
Morocco's coming forward. Oh! I'm trying not to look at the graphic. So I look at the graphic, I know what happens on the attack. Although I think you may cheer if they score. But come on, Morocco. I mean, it's just that final, isn't it? I mean, number 9 then. He was dinking past a couple of French players. Number
They're
9.
doing everything apart from getting the ball in the right place.
And he scuffs the final ball, doesn't he?
If they score now, it's going to be such a scuffy goal.
Yes. But they'll take it. If it goes in off somebody's arse, they'll take it. You know.
They would. They would take it. Bloody hell, Dembele, the goal's coming off.
Wow.
I never even seen him.
I've seen Griezmann. He's on the pitch.
Yeah, couldn't miss him with his hair.
I can remember Griezmann getting the penalty that ultimately knocked us out the Champions League.
Oh yeah, Atletico Madrid game. Didn't you get
Very.
to the quarters?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
We were the last, and I have got a T-shirt that says this. We were the last
Premier
British
League
team,
club.
last British team in the Champions League that season.
Yeah, I remember that. Everybody else got knocked out quite early on, to be fairly honest, and everyone was back. The whole country was back in Leicester to do well.
I mean, if you'd said, I cannot still to this day. Oh, there's been a goal.
Oh,
I did say, didn't I? I did say. They don't get it clear.
And I said it'd be a scuffy goal.
Oh, yes.
That was so scuffer. I think it was by the substitute as well.
Yeah, you've got to say that it is that golfing class, and I'm not disrespecting Morocco here, but somebody should have put the boot in there. Yeah, like you said, David, tap in. I mean, just showing it now. I mean, it fell to him very luckily. I don't think it was a pass to him, was it? Oh, it was a lovely turn.
I think it was done based off trying to defend.
But
yeah, I mean, it's because it went to.
What was that number 25 doing for Morocco?
Having a dance.
Oh, look at him. He's not picking him up. And I've seen this so much at this World Cup, and it absolutely pees me off. The last defender, look at him there. He was just stood still. He was just stood still, and the French guy was behind him. So he wasn't even watching where he was, and he just stood there. And it's probably the easiest goal that guy's ever going to score.
This World Cup final is just going to be dreadful. I don't want either team to win, but they are.
I'm sorry, Morocco. You got what you deserve there. With that defending, you got what you deserved.
Au revoir.
Allez le bleu. Yeah, she did, Ravi. She called it.
Scuffy goal.
I think they just didn't have enough, like you say, in that last third, did they?
No, they didn't, and I think them crosses really cost them, to be honest. What?
I'm not. We could see it coming. We said this, didn't we? But I think, like you say, I think for Morocco, this was one game too far for them.
I completely agree.
Yeah, and I think France have kind of played it. They got the early goal, and that just put them in control.
I think they tried to tire out Morocco, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's what the game plan has been.
It's like two fighters with heavyweight boxers, and one's just letting the other one punch away and tire himself out. France are away again here. 9 minutes to go. Could they get a third? Mbappe's on the ball. Somebody's just said, I think it was Ravi, that Mbappe. It was a good run by him, to be honest with you. He did dink around those defenders, which of course they couldn't go in case they gave a penalty away. But I've seen that, like I say, it has annoyed me. And I know I'm a 61-year-old fat git sat here that's never played football in his life. But I've seen so much where these defenders, these last defenders, they're not looking behind them. They're not picking the player up. But why aren't the other players or the goalkeeper shouting at them?
It's a good question. It's a good question. And I know you're definitely one that loves the underdog to do well as well.
I am. Well, James has gone. Otherwise, he's the only one that got to score dead on, so we won't tell him. But well done, James. Even for an Everton fan, you've gone 2-0 so far. My 2-1 is still on, as is David's 2-1. Yeah, we won't talk about yours, shall we, Maisie?
Let's not.
No. I mean, I've just shown it again. I'm sorry, number 25. He needs to. He literally was just stood there. And when he realised, he was like a yard behind. And I'm sorry, I don't know who the goal scorer was.
No clue. But well done to France. They have qualified. Well, technically not. There's something can happen.
I mean, FIFA have just put up here, and they've just said 4 words: right place, right time.
That's very true.
Yeah. Oh, it was Kanate that's the. Oh no, he committed the foul. Oh, look at! Oh, it's all kicking off now.
Kanate committed the foul. That doesn't sound anything new.
No. It was Manwani that scored. Never even heard of him. Muiani?
No clue.
After I bought the Christmas tree, I went into the pub to have a drink. It was really, really quiet. And then the referee walked in. I thought, it's all going to kick off now.
Oh dear.
No, come on, you want to.
Your jokes are getting worse.
6 minutes to go.
I'll see where he plays.
For me, it's been one of those games, I think, where if Morocco had got another goal, had got an equaliser and taken it to extra time, you'd have said fair play, they deserve it. And then France get the second, and you've got to say fair play to them. It was a good game plan they had.
Definitely. I just had a look where the goal scorer is from. He plays for Frankfurt.
Oh, John Wayne would like him then.
Yeah, 14 appearances in the league, 5 goals. That's not a bad stat, really.
Can I just say, if anybody's watching, I'm not being sarcastic and saying John Wayne the actor. He's a Frankfurt supporter, and his YouTube name is John Wayne. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but
I thought you were talking about that John Wayne.
Which one, the actor?
Yeah.
I thought you might have done. They're getting frustrated now, Morocco. They've had, they had the chances, and I do get fed up with saying this, but every World Cup, they are getting close to these African teams. And when you look how many African players are actually at top clubs in Europe, because we all moan about the AFCON, don't we?
Not that many at all, to be fairly honest.
Is it not?
I wouldn't say there was that many, considering. I think that more could play for a top club.
I mean, I include, well, because I suppose, you're looking maybe at Man United, I'm looking at Leicester as top clubs. That might be a bit the difference. But, I mean, we had 3.
Yeah, we had 2 who went to AFCON.
But when you look at, not so long ago where, you would never have, but you had like Moose, Miyad Mahrez, Algerian.
Yep, who City stole from you. Did you rob them as well?
60 million we got, I think, for him.
Oh, that's a bit of a robbery, if you want me to be honest.
Well, they paid for it. It actually is coming good for them now. But yeah, look, big clubs won't take a chance on these players. So you got teams like the Leicesters, the Man Cities, etc. We will take chances, and we'll go and pay 25 million for a player.
And then you'll take 100 million off us.
Yeah. Chelsea, 80 million for Fofana. Cost us, I think it was 22 mil. We don't mind doing that. It's annoying in a way, but
nothing's more robbery than you with Harry Maguire.
He was good when he left us. It's you.
That was the biggest robbery going.
I like Harry Maguire. He knew that you wanted him, and his contract was running down. And I didn't realise this at the time, but apparently he'd gone to Leicester and said, "Look, I don't want you to lose out. Sign a contract, stick a load of clauses in it, and I'll sign it so that you get some money if I do go."
That's good of him.
Yeah, no, it was bloody more than Tielemans.
That's what Jack Grealish done for Aston Villa, though.
Yeah. All you've got to do is put, clause in, say, well, if a European, a team that's in Europe playing in a European competition comes in for me, or this is the minimum, that's all you've got to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Told you, bro, is in. Go on, Chris, give us another one as good as the zoo joke.
What's the zoo joke? I
don't remember the zoo joke. If it was a good one, it wasn't one of mine, I can tell you that. And Jeff said, Maisie, you are lucky you are hearing Chris jokes for the first time. We have been hearing them since the Qatar versus Ecuador game.
I've known Chris for 2 years.
Yes. Oh, she knows my jokes, Jeff.
Yeah.
She knows my jokes.
I do.
Right. I have stuck now. I have seen the same passage of play 5 times. Somehow I do not think that they are repeating them. Let me just change channels. That's the trouble when you're watching on a Fire Stick. How many? Do we know how many minutes of injury time we've got?
Not yet. I'll let you know in 3 seconds.
Don't know why I updated that and it hadn't updated on the screen.
Strange.
It's
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Donatello, where are you? Come here. Indeed. I went to fancy dress party once as a Ninja Turtle,
Oh, really?
Yeah, painted myself green, and I had a girl on my back. And this guy came and said, "What are you come as?" And I went, "Ninja Turtle." I said, "What's that girl doing on your back?" I went, "That's Michelle." Oh, boom, boom. Thank you. I'll leave on that one. I'm here all week, guys. Oh, dear. Yeah, you said there, told you, Maguire was good for us. Was a gent to us, and he was a good player. He started playing for England when he was with us. In fairness, Maisie, and I'm not having a dig, but as bad as he's been, who's been good in the Man United defence recently? Apart from Varane, I will take the red,
Martinez.
Who?
Martinez.
Yeah, okay, well, that's 2 then.
Lissandro.
Good. Now, you have had some problems, haven't you?
Yeah, we have definitely had problems, but the thing is, a lot of people rated him when he first came and then stopped rating him, but I don't know overly what he was like at Leicester, but he's always prone to a mistake. Even when he's on his good form, he's always prone to a mistake. I've never been a fan.
Watching the monkey. Was it the elephants? What I was doing when I was watching the elephants? Because if it was, I'm too much of a gentleman to repeat that one in front of me.
Chris, a gentleman.
Yeah, I can be. Not very often, I grant you, but I can be.
I'm shocked.
Come on, Morocco. Score 1 goal so we score predictions right. I've only got 2 predictions right all World Cup, and they were both 2-1s.
Keep the opposite of a clean sheet. Don't score. Keep your own clean sheet. Chris, they're not good at score.
Just because your prediction lasted 4 minutes.
5, actually.
Was it 5? I'm not. I don't know about that.
Bloody hell, these bloody corners are shocking. And these powerless shots.
Yeah,
No
unfortunately,
wonder they
I
need
think-
6 minutes injury time with the amount of powerless kicks they have.
Yeah, and I do think though that the poor lady's in tears. They can go home with their head held high, Morocco, can't they?
Oh yes, certainly. They definitely can. Oh, no, not scored.
You know, I think they're going to be in tears. Get that, but you know, to got to a semi-final. You know, when you look at who's not made it, so many big teams that have been knocked out. You know, Portugal are in the semi-final, Spain, England, and Morocco have done brilliantly to get there. This is the first. You know, they've not lost a game until they got to the semi-final where they played. Oh my God! How the fuck did that not go in?
That's what I was doing at, Chris.
I am a bit behind you. Obviously, I know my place in the world, and I'm a little bit behind you. But oh my God, that should have. Oh, mind you, having said that, 3 minutes to go, it would have been a consolation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just would have helped with the goal difference.
But yeah, they could have gone home. But they will go home proud anyway. You know, 2 goals conceded in the whole World Cup. Wow.
3.
Is it 3?
Because they conceded one against Canada.
This is very true. I know I had you on for a reason. Not sure what that reason is still, but it will come to me one day.
I know why.
I'm not asking you to say because it'd probably be rude knowing you.
It's not. I was going to say you enjoy my company.
Of course, that is very true. That is very true. If you want to join us on Friday night at 9 o'clock, if you are free, we're doing the big World Cup review.
Let me see. What time I've got a show on? Let me just check. I know I have a show on Friday.
I'll leave it with you. Let me know. There's no urgency.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, give me a message.
I will send you the deal. Yeah, basically, like I say, we'll be just looking at the
What
best.
time did you say? 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah, there'll be
Okay.
yourself, Doug, and Steve Lynex, who is an ex-Leicester player.
Okay. Oh, this one.
There we go. They're through to France. Allez le bleu. They are through. Well done, France. I mean, yes, they deserved it, I guess. Had it gone to extra time, though, like I said, you couldn't say that Morocco wouldn't have deserved it.
Well, yeah, to be honest, Morocco, if you was looking at the whole game and not stats, if you looked at the whole game, you'd say, right, they were great, but it was just that the final third went so well, and France, they was just bloody jammy buggers on the counter. But that's what it's all about. Even though France didn't take nowhere near as many chances, they put away the chances, and that's what football is about, taking your chances and scoring. If you don't score, you don't win.
Yeah. And again, I think these Moroccan players have got to look at it and go, at the start of the tournament, if we'd said you were going to top the group, you're only going to lose one game, and that would be the semi-final. You're only going to concede 3 goals. You could potentially finish 3rd in the World Cup. They wouldn't have bloody believed you, would they? They think you've been on the old falling
They would
down.
have bit their hand off for it.
Yeah, exactly. And how many teams looking at there now? I'd take that. I wish Morocco that had been us. Germany, Spain, all these teams that are getting to the semi-final and losing. So I have got to say, big up Morocco, well deserved.
Couldn't agree more, Chris.
And I must admit, another prediction that Doug got wrong was that France were going to not win it this time because of the Champions Curse. How's that going, Doug?
You never know. Doug could still be right. There's now only a 50-50 chance.
Yes, but they're in the final. He wasn't even predicting. Where did he get that? Come on, let's have a look. What? because I heard my God, my final, because what we did at the start, we did one of the on-screen ones where you pick it, so
Yeah.
you don't actually say who the final's going to be between. It's who you get as you go through. I'd actually got a Brazil-England final. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
I had France. Actually, I had France. Where did I have France? I got them winning the group. Oh, I got them losing to Mexico. Yeah, right. That was almost as good as your 0-0 into extra time. Now, Doug, on the other hand, had France coming second to Denmark. Oops.
Oh, I did as well.
Yeah, and then he had France going out to Argentina. So
And that's really who's in the final together.
It is. Who do you fancy for the final then? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be a second on the row for France, or is Messi finally going to get a World Cup winners medal?
I want both teams to lose.
Yeah, this is football. Now, Maisie, I know you're a Man United fan, but when the idea of the game of football is that one team, especially in knockout and if you could get a draw, but not at this stage, one team has to win it.
Argentina, and I say it with gritted teeth.
Yeah, and I am the same, to be honest with you, because a little bit of me wants to say, if France win it, oh, they've won it again and they knocked us out. We got knocked out by the winners. So there's always that. But I hate Argentina, but I want it for Messi.
Yeah, probably the same reason for me. And I really just don't like France. Really don't.
No,
I don't like either, but I don't like France more than I don't like Argentina.
And Morocco to beat Croatia for third place.
Now that is one that's gonna go to penalties, and then penalties are gonna keep getting taken.
Could be. they might have to put the actual final back 24 hours. And
I guess to the point the manager will be playing and the assistant. And might bring some fans on.
yeah. From the 46th player turning up to take a penalty is fan number seat Z47. But I've got to say one last thing is as regards to France. I've got to say, gentlemen at the end going over. I mean, I know France and Morocco, they've obviously got a lot of ties with the countries, but respect to them, they were going over. And before they celebrated, they were making sure that they were congratulating, the Moroccans, which was a nice thing to see.
Definitely.
Maisie, it has been a pleasure to have you on. We'll see you, as we say now, on Friday as well. But your details, have put them in the chat below on YouTube. But give a shout out with your 2 underscores as to where people can find you.
My YouTube channel's Devils United, Manchester United content on there, men and women's football. My Twitter is at 2 underscores MUFC Maze. Check me out on there, and thank you, Chris, for having me on this watch along as well.
No, thank you very much for coming on. I've done a few this World Cup where I've been on my own, and they always seem to be 0-0s. I've nothing to talk about. But look, you know what? I can only leave with this thing just for you, Maisie. Can I just say thank you for letting me use that free, because if you charged me, you'd be able to retire by now.
True.
Maisie, take care, guys.
Thanks,
and girls. Make sure you go out and check her out. She does a lot. If you like women's football, she does a lot of women's football as well. I was hoping to this season, but unfortunately with Leicester not doing so well, I kind of sort of forgot about it. But there we go. Mbappe is second in the Golden Boot Awards.
Because Messi's got more assists.
And Messi is top by 1 assist. Maisie, take care of yourself. Thank you so much. All the best to your dad and all your family. Thank you very much for coming on, and we will see you on Friday.
Bye, Chris. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for Maisie there for coming on. Knows her stuff. Do get over it and give her your support on your channel. God, I've got a day off tomorrow. Hey! We will be back Friday at 9 o'clock. We will be doing the review of the World Cup. There will be Doug. There will be Maisie. And there will be Steve Lynix, the ex-Leicester City winger, who has also actually got his own range of clothing out now. So he will be telling us about that, I'm sure, as well. It is, Ravi, her channel is very, very good. And like I say, if you haven't subscribed to Maisie, yes, she does Man United. I do Leicester. But as content creators, we also do a lot of none of our own teams as well. Quizzes. She has some very good quizzes, very difficult ones, but very, very good one. Told you, bro, says Mays, Argentina, please, and a Messi wonder goal or two. Yeah, just to rub Ronaldo's nose in it. Please, guys, if you are new and you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean an awful lot. I'd say trying to get to 1.6 by the end of the year. I think I'm going to struggle, but you never know. You never know if you guys can. If you've got your friends or anybody that hasn't subscribed yet, tell them to get on and do that. And if you have subscribed, please like the channel. Like the channel. Please like the video. It does make such a difference, and I can't keep saying this, but it means that if somebody doesn't follow me, if there's enough likes on a video or anybody's video, it puts our channels onto other people's home pages. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maisie, as I said, for coming in. Thank you, everybody who's been in the chat. Even Ravi, the Liverpool fan. It was nice to have him in. You know I love you, Ravi. Thanks to everybody else that was in. Really, really. Join us, told you. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to be going off and doing the categories soon. So looking forward to it. Thanks very much. Thanks to everybody in the chat. This has been Leicester Till I Die TV. Like I say, be sure to go and check us out. It's Christmas. In less than 11 days, less than 2 weeks, we will be having some of that old mulled cider and mince pies and stuff in the turkey. And I've got to be careful because last time I did that, I got arrested. It has been a pleasure hosting this for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. 9 o'clock Friday night. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have to watch some telly. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye-bye now.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Leicester Till I Die TV. They think